I'm in.
Okay. Great. Oh, and it looks.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, Scott.
Say I can't see. Say I can't see anybody.
It's funny, I don't see you guys as speakers right now, but I know you guys are both up here, so thank you for joining.
Yeah, I don't see any pictures either.
Yeah, you're on there, Charlotte. It's just your voice.
That's my
Is
voice.
that right, Scott?
Yeah, she's up as a speaker right now. Everybody can hear her.
Okay.
Just the Twitter spaces are always like this. They're a little buggy sometimes, so it's always funny.
So ask.
Hey Chad, how are you?
Be seen.
So I won't be seen.
No, you'll be speaking. We can hear you. You're good.
But I meant seen like as
No,
a picture.
you won't be seeing anything. You'll just see as we speak and we ask you questions. You'll be able to answer by turning the mic on and off.
I'm gonna have to leave this team thing. Bye.
Bye, Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte, it'll kind of like a podcast or radio show.
Okay.
Like a microphone.
Sounds good.
Is that right, Scott?
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Great.
We're just waiting to get a few more people in here, you guys, and then we'll go from there. I know Houston and Katie will be here right away. They're just got the room ready, so just give them a minute or two to come in, unless they're already here and I don't see them. How's Jad this morning? Or afternoon, I guess, for you? Oh, he might be having mic issues as well. I'm not sure what's going on. Yes, mic issues as usual. But hey, Abby, Charlotte, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it so much for you coming into this space. It means a lot. I see Katie and Houston are here now as well too. I added them as a speaker, but I'll just make sure they're up here. Can you speak?
GM, yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes. I hope Houston is feeling a lot better today.
Oh my goodness, he is so much better. You're going to hear coughing in the background, but they said that's a good thing.
Yeah, get that stuff out of you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were definitely questionable early in the week.
Well, I hope. Well, I'm glad you are feeling better now, Houston. This is Charlotte speaking. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, hey Charlotte, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. This is awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
So I guess we're going to start this space right now. We're really going to start asking some questions to, I guess, Charlotte, which I appreciate you being under the account, Charlotte, for National Down Syndrome Society. We appreciate you being in this space right now, and we're excited for you to be here. So it's going to be a great space today. And of course, Katie and Houston and Abby, thank you so much for attending the space. We got some really great questions for you today to talk about things with you, Charlotte. So why don't we start out with the first question for you? So, what are the primary goals and missions of the National Down Syndrome Society, Charlotte?
So, at the National Down Syndrome Society, our mission is to empower individuals with Down syndrome and their families by driving policy change, providing resources, engaging with local communities, and shifting public perceptions. Our vision is to ensure all individuals with Down syndrome are assured their human rights and are valued by a more inclusive society.
That's amazing. And Katie in Houston, what is your you take part or you volunteer with National Down Syndrome Associate or Society as well, correct?
Yes, for those of you who aren't familiar, Houston has Down syndrome. He's 26, and we've actually, NDSS has been our lifeline for a long time with information and just, policy information and rights for individuals. And our real tie came this year with Houston's photography. On March 21st is 321 is National Down Syndrome Day or World Down Syndrome Day. And Houston was able to do a photography gallery show through NDSS at the United States Capitol Hill. And that was a huge ordeal for him and a huge honor. And so we've really enjoyed getting to know Charlotte and the staff with NDSS. They're so supportive of entrepreneurs and individuals with Down syndrome and starting businesses and supporting in communities and just making Down syndrome not be an anomaly, but just really truly part of the community. And so we're honored to get to be a part of, to be able to support them.
That's amazing. That's awesome to hear. So the next question, I just seen Alex come up though as well, and Alex is one of the founders of Seed Photo. So I just wanted to say hello really quickly to you as well, Alex. Hope your day is going good.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No problem. Okay, so the next question for Charlotte. What are the most significant challenges faced by individuals with Down syndrome and their families today?
So there are many challenges that people with Down syndrome may face. The biggest challenges are choosing between Medicaid and SSI, and getting married and getting a job. Other significant challenges include being denied a life-saving organ transplant, being paid sub-minimum wage in sheltered workshops, being segregated in special education programs, etc.
And for you guys, Katie and Houston, what are the challenges that you guys face?
Hey, Charlotte. It's me, Amy Houston. Me, need to be having, I need to do a business graph all the time.
Yeah, what that's exactly right. What we have found is that a lot of the public perceptions of people with Down syndrome are based on outdated stereotypes, and it's kind of interesting that we're
Oh, we might have lost you there.
Oh, we've had somebody just come in the hospital room. Give us just a minute.
No problem, no problem. We'll start on the next question just for now, and then you can come back to it again, Katie.
Okay, actually, we just ran her off.
Oh, okay, good.
Our nurse told us we'd have an hour, so I think that was
about an hour.
Yeah.
It'll be about big to me. As soon as it was. Near about an hour.
That's,
I'm okay now.
there's not many people in the hospital that are familiar with the Twitter space, and so they're like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Sorry, I was sick. Okay. I think all day then. I'm good now.
Yeah. For those of
So,
you
yeah.
who don't know, Houston.
I got sick about. I got to be like a. Do it. Hey, this is like my day. I got fever about. About that.
Yep. Monday he had a fever. We came to the
Monday.
emergency room,
What
and
is it?
he's been in ICU for the week with pneumonia.
I'm ammonia.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he is doing great.
Yeah, I'm good at it. I'm good now.
Yep. He's a fighter, and he's
I'm a
ready to go
fighter.
home.
I will go. Got it.
I hope you feel better, Houston.
I will. Got it. I will.
So anyway, Scott, back to answer your question, I think a lot of what we see is just public perception. And there are a lot of social media influencers that are doing different things to kind of just build a whole tribe together to show that, so many of the assumptions of people with Down syndrome are just outdated, with early intervention and with, inclusion and with medical treatment like we're getting now. There's some the limitations that used to be in place are not there anymore, and so people are finding out that people with Down syndrome can just about do anything. There's really no limits, and that's the part that we've seen, and that's the part that we're happy to be a part of.
That's amazing, Katie and Houston and Charlotte. I appreciate your guys' answer to that one. Now, the next one, Charlotte, can you describe some of the key programs and initiatives that NDSS has implemented to improve the lives of people with Down syndrome?
So at the National Down Syndrome Society, we have our education program, and through that program, we provide tools to students with Down syndrome for accessing the general education curriculum. We also have a health and wellness a program which creates and makes accessible resources about co-occurring health issues that people with Down syndrome may develop. NDSS has an employment program which not only advocates for the right people with Down syndrome to be included in the workforce, and our policy and advocacy program empowers people with Down syndrome to stand up and speak out against illegal, systemic, and structural practices that hold us back from our potential.
I love that. And I can just tell by the way you're speaking that, Charlotte, you've probably had some experiences yourself and have used these, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte is a powerhouse in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. Everybody knows her name.
Everybody is name and to be out there. So I didn't have a great time to be sad. Christmas is time.
That's right. When we went to Washington, D.C. in March, we went for Advocacy Day on the Hill, and we were able to meet with our congressmen and our state representatives to provide information and support for some of the policies coming down. And again, everybody knows Charlotte. She definitely is making a mark.
Yeah, it'd be great.
sorry, I lost the space there for just a half a second. Okay, we'll go on to the next question. That's amazing. And that's amazing you can be such a powerhouse in Washington, D.C., Charlotte. I admire you for what you're doing. So,
thank you.
No problem. And then, so the next question, what are the biggest misconceptions about Down syndrome that NDSS is working to dispel?
So the biggest misconceptions that we're working to dispel are segregated education programs are not the hold on. The biggest misconceptions that we're working to dispel are segregated special education programs are the only option for people with Down syndrome. They are not. That people with Down syndrome cannot be active members of their community, which they can be. That adults with Down syndrome are unemployable. Of course, we are ready, willing, and able to be employed. That people with Down syndrome are unable to make close interpersonal relationships leading to marriage, we can, etc. Of course, there are many other myths and misconceptions we're dispelling them. These are just some of them.
Definitely. What do you find, Katie, in Houston, that are some misconceptions that you face?
Is that it?
You I think what we have seen from a personal standpoint is that there, again, I just keep using the words outdated stereotypes. A generation ago, people with a disability were taken from families and put in institutions, and that was, almost a death sentence for people, or a life sentence in an institution. And we're finding out that is definitely not the way. The more you put into a person, the more you can get out of a person. And again, early intervention and physical therapies, they're finding out that there's no limits. And a lot of what was happening in previous generations was just a self-fulfilling prophecy. And there was a campaign recently that said, expect that I can and maybe I will. And I've also heard, it's so fun to prove them wrong. And that's kind of something that Houston loves to do, is that, people see a person with Down syndrome, there's a physical element to it that's recognizable. And so a lot of times people will just make assumptions based on appearance. And, the saying, you can't judge a book by its cover, it has never been more true with people with Down syndrome.
I fully agree with you. Okay, now the next question. This is for... Jad is here. He's putting up his hand. Go ahead, Jad.
I had to interfere, to be very honest, having listened to Houston, Katie, Charlotte. Honestly, first of all, thank you guys. I would like to thank Houston in particular, because I know it has been hard for him the last couple of days. But to me, that just shows how Houston is really willing to put and go that extra mile. So I just wanted to say from my perspective, my personal one, and from Seed's perspective, to be very honest with you, we believe in creating an inclusive environment where individuals with Down syndrome can contribute with their unique perspectives. And when I talk like and say inclusivity, I mean not just accommodating, but actively encouraging participation from individuals with diverse needs. And to be very honest with you again, when I first met Houston and Katie, we talked a lot, actually, more than 4 or 5 times. And when Houston shared with me some of his artwork, I had a meeting with the team, and we were really astonished by the photos, the quality of the photos, the devotion. So shout out to you, Houston. Shout out to everyone. Abby, thank you so much for this opportunity. Charlotte, I really respect what you are doing, and keep on doing it, guys. Just to let you know, Seed is definitely supportive, and during this phase, we're going to be announcing something that we have been planning for a long time, and thank you so much for putting the effort, helping us achieve this as well.
Well, thank you, Jad.
So that this dad to be me, to be working on me and do stuff. Yeah.
Yep, Houston and Jad are best buds.
Yeah, that's right.
And Scott.
And Scott too. Yeah, that's right.
And especially Blanca.
To be everybody go.
Okay, that's amazing. And thank you so much. I consider you a good friend too, Houston, and I'm glad that you're doing so much better. I was worried there for a while. I was messaging your mom and that, like, I've felt so bad for you being in the situation you are in the hospital, in the ICU, but you're here today, and like, I can't say enough. I appreciate you so much for being here.
So
Thank you.
tried too. I tried. Well, to be like on and like that. So to be hard. So well, I go now. Well, in about an hour a week.
That's right. We did get really good news this morning. They had said Houston might need to be here 5 to 7 more days, but the doctor came this morning and said he may get to step down over the weekend and may go home early next week. So we're very, very happy about that.
Anyway, I prefer you harder than me or do it out of that.
That is so amazing. I'm glad to hear you're going to be able to go home and get out of that ICU, the first step of all the steps. And I heard that's later today. So congratulations on being such a fighter and so strong like you are. Okay, and now next question for you, Charlotte. How does NDSS support the education and inclusion of individuals with Down syndrome in schools and workplaces?
So the National Down Syndrome Education Program provides resources which can be accessed on our website for people with Down syndrome, their families, loved ones, etc. We primarily work on the systems level, influencing policy at the federal, state, and local levels to ensure that people with Down syndrome can access education, which they are entitled, and that the quality of that education is continually improved. And I'd like to add that people with Down syndrome rise to high expectations. Just a brief little part of my experience. The separate segregated special education program director wanted to put me in that program when I transitioned from middle school to high school. I said no, and will not compromise on my rights. So I stood up and said no and advocated for my right to access the general education curriculum. Oh, and now look at me now. I graduated high school with a standard diploma and went on to Northern Virginia Community College, graduating summa cum laude with a degree in general studies. Then I transferred to George Mason University, where I also graduated summa cum laude with a degree in sociology with a concentration in inequality and social change.
That's so impressive, Charlotte. Like, that speaks volumes. You're so intelligent and so smart. Like, me going to university to get those degrees that you got, there's no way I could touch that in a university. So I'm so impressed with what you're doing and working with National Down Syndrome Society as well. Like, it's so amazing. I'm so happy with the way you're doing things and becoming the powerhouse that you're becoming today, Charlotte. So. And how about
Thank you.
yourself, Houston and Katie?
Has got
Hey,
Yeah,
Houston.
I think that our education direction was a little bit different. Houston graduated from high school, and he wanted to pursue photography as a career. And so what we were able to do was to do a professional program through our local university. It was a 3-year program that involved classes and portfolio reviews and field trips and gallery shows for him. And so he received his photography certificate from the University of Tennessee. And then they also had a 1-year advanced photography certificate program that he received. That was during COVID, so it ended up being a lot of online classes. We really enjoy the hands-on learning a lot better, but it was a good way to finish that off. And so he continues to do online classes for photography, and in-person classes, just because with a craft, you can never work too hard at it or learn too much. And so we're part of several photography groups here locally and nationally. And he's involved with the Professional Photographers of America. We go to their expo and their workshops every year, and we're involved with a lot with the local community, the arts community here. And it's been really encouraging to see the diverse family in the arts. When you're looking at arts and technology together, which is what we found in Web3, it's really cool to see how open people are to sharing. And Houston's been able to make friends all over the world, and we've been able to visit friends all over the world.
Well, I got friends I don't know. Yeah, I give my 2 all the time.
Yep, 2 friends. We've been able to go to Italy for a photography award. Houston's work has been showcased in Rome and Venice and let's see, Portugal and Paris,
Portugal,
Scotland,
Scotland.
New York.
Okay, ma'am.
And so photography for us has opened up a lot of doors from a career and an education standpoint that has allowed us to look at what he does the very best and to focus on that.
So amazing. You can tell he has the artistic eye. There's no doubt. I've seen his pictures as well, just like Jad was talking about, and it's so
Oh
amazing.
no.
And
Whoops.
yeah,
God, I know that. Your dad needs to be mad to be a hospital.
Yeah, no, they're not mad that you're in the hospital.
No, no.
no, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, the next question we have for you, Charlotte. What resources does NDSS provide for new parents of children diagnosed with Down syndrome?
So, the National Down Syndrome Society provides a guide for new and expectant parents, as well as a resource on early intervention, an overview of what Down syndrome is, and a prenatal and newborn information pamphlet, which can be accessed on our website. We also have, and the website is ndss.org. We also have an Understanding a Diagnosis of Down Syndrome page in our section called About Down Syndrome, which can also be accessed on our website too.
That's amazing. The support that you're giving to those families, it means a lot. I'm certain. Katie in Houston, how would you add to this question?
Well,
I love it.
Yep, you love the support that they provide.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, as a new family, again, I keep saying the outdated stereotypes, but you know, a lot of people only know what they know about Down syndrome because the information is limited in general public, and it can be kind of a shock to get a diagnosis. But as you progress down the path, you realize it's such a tremendous blessing, and people with Down syndrome are such amazing people. Truly, I mean, not just Charlotte and Houston, but it's a true blessing if you know somebody with Down syndrome in your life. Again, you can see it through Houston's pictures, as you mentioned, Scott. You know the beauty that he sees in the world.
Dad, you love it all the time.
And Jad loves your pictures, absolutely.
Yeah, and about the.
Yeah, but as a new family or with a new diagnosis, a lot of times it's just it's a shock, and it's something that you don't know about, and so it's so nice to have the NDSS. You know, for anybody who's had a baby, you know, you always say that they wish they came with a handbook. Well, if you have a person with Down syndrome, they do. They literally do.
And your parents, he loves you.
Yep, your parents love you. That's exactly right.
Oh, they're not.
And so it's so nice to be able to have someone stand there beside you and say, you know, this is what you can expect. This is what you need to know. And not just the negative side of things. You know, a lot of times the medical profession, you know, here we are in the hospital again. Yeah. But, you know, they'll dwell on the negative side of things. And a lot of people don't focus on the positives that comes with the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many positives, obviously, like Houston's a bright shining light along with Charlotte. And I personally watch another TikToker.
God, I know.
Yeah, Baker Banter. I don't know if you guys watch him sometimes. I love watching that guy on TikTok.
We did a podcast with their family, and we want to get Derek and Houston together. They're both huge wrestling fans, and we think they'd have a great time together. They're an awesome family.
I'd love to see that happen as well, Katie. Actually, he seems like such a friendly guy too.
It's funny that you even mentioned their family because Derek's sister was engaged, and her fiance bought her one of Houston's photographs for Christmas last year.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
It gets to be a very small world.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You get okay. Oh, gift. Oh, gift. Hey, this I got. You make a note. I never saw that or me or you or Ted or to be ideas.
That's right. They got your picture from the picture that you took in Slovenia.
Yeah.
And Derek's sister got that for Christmas.
Yeah, so.
And
awesome.
they were talking. Houston dressed as a WWE wrestler for Halloween. He went as Roman Reigns.
Hey, I got to buy it.
And Derek went as for Halloween as a wrestler, but he was one of the Diva girls.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Maybe, well, yeah, I know.
Maybe Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Houston and Derek, we have to get them together at some point because they would have a really good talk.
Yeah, Derek,
I could see their
you know,
personalities
just
would
have a
shine
pie.
together. Okay, now we're going to get started on the next question here. Charlotte, how can communities get involved in supporting the mission and initiatives of NDSS?
So we have a lot of ways that communities can get involved, which include coming to our events like the Buddy Walk and our conferences, and they can also sign up to be a DS ambassador. I would also like to mention that communities should provide inclusive opportunities to people with Down syndrome in order for them to live their lives without the myths, stereotypes, and low expectations. I think this latter part is what I am stressing the most whenever I do these talks to other people. And they can also sign up for our newsletter and our action alerts.
I'll definitely have to sign up for that newsletter later, Charlotte, and have a look at it. That's a definite for sure. Katie in Houston, do you want to add to it?
Yeah, from us, it's more of an individual perspective. But what you really want to do is, if you don't have somebody in your life with Down syndrome, you should search somebody out. Your life will definitely be richer and better to get to know somebody. And there's lots of ways in the community. Most communities now have a support network of some sort. So it's cool to volunteer. It's cool to reach out to families, whatever it may be, because your life will just be richer for that. And as far as the community, we've done things with Houston's Photography. We've been able to raise money for the World Down Syndrome International. We've been able to use this photography for sales for different organizations that support people with special needs. And there's just a lot of ways when you're thinking about whether it's Seed Photo or whatever your specific group of people may be, it's neat to get to be involved. I mean, I think that again, us partnering with NDSS has really opened up a lot of doors for us as with Houston, but also just with the people that we've been able to meet. And so I think that kind of the bottom line is get to know somebody, reach out, don't be intimidated. A lot of times people don't know what to say or what to do, but don't worry about that. Just be a part.
Hey, Dad, do you have any ideas of how you'd like to, or what's an important part of supporting?
Actually, definitely, not actually, definitely a big yes here. And I was just listening to Houston, Katie, and Charlotte. So basically, what I can say, what better than using your capabilities to help your own cause? And honestly, when we're talking about photography in particular, Houston did not just make it because the quality of the photo, as we mentioned, are amazing, but in Web3 on the blockchain, that was superb. And that's where C.Photo aligns, because the core idea of C.Photo is photography. And here comes Houston and NDSS with this cause. So we were like, how can we help? And here it is. So basically, I would like to announce here with you, Scott, that there will be a partnership, a collaboration between NDSS, Downs and Towns, represented definitely by Houston and Katie, and C.Photo, where a private collection of photos taken by Houston will be available for sale on Seed.Photo very, very soon. And the outcome of the sale is gonna go to support NDSS. So I cannot explain to you how happy I am, but as well, using Houston photos in particular to support the cause that he likes, that supported him as well. So that's it. That's what I can say. That was a great idea that we managed to pull. I would like to thank them again because it took some time, lots of up and downs, but I can say that we made it. And hopefully, as soon as Houston is gonna get out of the hospital, we're gonna be working on aligning the perfect time to launch that collection on Seed.Photo, which will definitely be promoted so that people can see the quality of the photos that Houston is taking.
That's so amazing. I'm excited to have you on Seed Photo, Houston and Katie. This is something big for us, and then DSS as well.
We are so honored. It's been such a huge secret to try to keep. So we're so glad, Jad, that you've been able to share with it.
Yeah, me too. I never heard the most.
What we were hoping to share a little bit about the collection is that we went through some of Houston's pictures. Again, he's a travel photographer. He's been to 27 countries and 49 of the 50 United States. We're about to go to Alaska on Saturday if we can get him out of the hospital next week.
And go again.
That's right. The doctor said we could go. But in going through Houston's photography, looking for pictures for this special drop, we noticed that there is a common theme in some of his images. That's the number 3. And we think that's so cool because people with Down syndrome have 3 copies of the 21st chromosome, while everybody else just has a boring 2. And so with Houston, his collection is all based around images that have 3 in the image some way. And it may be 3 sheep walking down the road in Iceland, or 3 boats parked in a lake in Slovenia. Yeah, and it might be,
Well, I did business either way. So I take business all day long.
Yep, all over the world. And so it might be 3 boats in the water in Italy, or 3 boats in the sky, whatever. But it just turned out to be a really nice collection, all based around the number 3. Because for us, as Down syndrome advocates, we know the number 3 is very special.
That's so amazing. I love seeing that. Okay, and now, Abby, do you want to add anything as well? Are you up here as a speaker? I think so.
Yeah, I'm here. Just want to thank you guys so much. It's such an honor to partner with you guys, and thank you, Houston, for joining from the ICU. You're incredible, and we're so grateful that hopefully you're going to be out of the hospital soon and on your way to Alaska. We can't wait to see photos from that, but just want to thank you guys for having us, for partnering with us. We're so grateful for your support.
Thank you so much, Abby, for coming up and saying that as well. We're happy to support you, and we're excited for the future. So I guess we should finish off the last 2 questions. Oh, Alex, I'd love to get your opinion on all this as well, because I mean you're a big part of them coming on board here. So
Thank you so much for this opportunity. On behalf of Seed.Photo management team, I really want to express our deep honor in supporting this important move for the Down syndrome community. As I often say, art is the only legacy of humanity, and we believe it will play a key role in shaping the future for the generations to come. So we are confident. We are really confident now that this marks the beginning of a significant and positive change. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone who made it happen. This is just the beginning. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
so amazing. I just love this so much. Okay, and then the final 2 questions. In closing, hopefully you guys can still hear me. It's saying something about connection was lost, but I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay, perfect. As long as you guys can hear me. So, Charlotte, what role do volunteers play in the success of NDSS, and how can individuals become involved?
So volunteers come to our events and engage with people with Down syndrome, advocate with them, support their needs, and empower them to be advocates. They can become DS ambassador and learn how to advocate for legislation that will benefit the Down syndrome community. They can also sign up for our newsletter and our action alerts.
And yourself, Katie in Houston?
Yeah, I think, and I know we're here with NDSS, which is in the United States.
Yeah, I do it.
Yeah, in the United States.
Yeah.
But I think we have listeners probably from all over the world. And I think that Down syndrome is recognized differently all over the world. And no matter where you are, we would encourage you to get involved with somebody with Down syndrome in your community. Houston and I did a talk at the NFT NYC last year, and it was basically about doing good in your corner of the world using NFTs, because NFT and the Web3 gives you an international reach. But if we each do our part in our own corner, wherever that may be, then together we can make a huge global difference. And we've been to places in different countries where people with Down syndrome are still viewed as second-class citizens, are still, maybe kept in a back room, not let out. I mean, just terrible things when you think about it. But no matter where you are, you can make a difference in your corner. And so we encourage everybody, whether it be through NDSS or a local group or an international group, or if you put something together in your own country, whatever that may be, we really encourage you just to get to know somebody with a disability, especially someone with Down syndrome, and your life will be so much better. It's, a selfish goal as well as a charity goal is that everybody will benefit.
That's so awesome. And that
You
worldwide.
hear me?
Oh, go ahead.
Abby, you hear me?
Abby?
Yeah, I can hear
you hear
you.
me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm back hospital. I can't back home again. Then it's still hospital again. So I can't.
Yeah, he said he's sorry we didn't get those pictures ready, because they are ready. We're just not home to get them ready.
No.
Oh my goodness, that's totally fine, Houston. You take your time and focus on getting healthy again.
Well, I may have it again. Now. I can't. It's just, I never eat a bad like that. So, I can.
Yep, the doctors keep coming in, but they keep bringing in good news today.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
I love that.
Need to have a.
So glad to hear. Thank you so much, Houston, and thank you as well, Katie.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last question: how does NDSS collaborate with other organizations to amplify its impact and reach, Charlotte?
So I'm not involved with all the collaborations with other organizations, but sometimes I am involved. I do know that NDSS holds meetings with other organizations as well as invites them to their events.
And Katie in Houston?
Yeah, again, for us, we've been given a really cool opportunity through Houston's photography to be able to meet with people literally all over the world, and it's amazing to see the difference that's being made with organization. I just said, make a difference in your own corner, but you can be much more powerful and have a stronger voice by working together as a group. And so there are some global Down syndrome support organizations that you could be involved with, but there's also local activities, and you just start somewhere. There's many opportunities, and it's a great opportunity. And I think that somebody mentioned earlier about the art and the beauty of art. What we have found out is that again, in previous generations, people with disabilities were just brushed aside. Were put in a back room or literally in an institution.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is going to be truly the first generation that is able to use the technologies that are around, uh, digital photography,
Mm-hmm.
Web3, the blockchain. And I think that it's going to be a truly historical movement, because when you look around, you're able to see, the beautiful photography that Houston can do. But he's not the only person that's doing this. There are so many artists that are using social media to document their work. And there are actors and models and athletes and spokespeople and all of these people with Down syndrome that have not really had a voice in previous generations. And so I think it's an entire movement, and I think it's really cool that we're capturing it on the blockchain right now for all of history, because I think it is a turning point in history. And I think by being involved with different organizations and all that's happening, it's an exciting time.
It is definitely an exciting time. I'm so excited for the future for you guys. And then, Jad, in closing, go ahead.
Well, actually, I just wanted to pinpoint to what Katie said, Scott. That's the beauty of community. So, as a community, if we stick
Mm-hmm.
together, especially now with the internet, with Web3, with the blockchain, there's a broader reach out there. So, whatever Houston is doing, it helped him a lot when it comes to Web3. Houston now is internationally known. He has traveled the world. So, definitely, this is something that a community should get together for a better reach.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can say is let's use this community, let's use each other to make it happen, and that's the purpose behind this Twitch
Mm-hmm.
space.
That's amazing, and I love that. And I'm excited for Seed to take part in what NDSS and Houston are putting together here. So it means a lot. So, are we going to get speakers up at the last chat, or are we going to close the space right now, but allow them to know that if they comment and retweet the spaces, they do have that opportunity to earn some Seed tokens as well, which is absolutely amazing as well.
Definitely. Whoever would like, the space is here, so just feel free, raise your hand. You'll get the chance to ask a question or participate whatsoever. If not, then definitely we're not gonna suck up whatever is left from Houston's energy, because we need him to leave the hospital and travel as soon as possible.
In
That's
closing,
why.
in closing, on my end, I just want to say thank you so very much for the opportunity, and I also want to tell Houston, and I also want to tell you, Houston, that I hope you get better, and that I hope you will be feeling better and will be able to go home from the hospital soon. You are not alone. I have had 4 open heart surgeries, 3 when I was a baby, 1 when I was 10, and I had a heart transplant on January 30th, 2012. But I hope that you get better soon.
That's amazing, Charlotte, that you've overcome all that and went through that heart surgery and got that transplant, and you're obviously doing big things today. So I'm glad you're able to get that.
So that guys, thank you guys
Okay.
so much. Your prayers and all the time. So thank you. And I can't go soon now. They're just not.
Yep, Houston says thank you, and thank you, Charlotte. I think that Charlotte didn't mention what she is known for. She has a bill going through our United States Congress. It's called Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
just named specifically for her with her organ transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And you're.
And yes, it's called the Charlotte Woodward Organ Transplant Discrimination Prevention Act.
That's amazing. You'll have to share more about that, Charlotte, so we know about it. But I think we're actually going to close this space here after this because I want to leave on a high note with everything that Charlotte and Houston has said. I just appreciate the time that you took today and the giving all your energy to come to the space, Houston. Thank you so much. And Charlotte for taking the time to answer these questions, and Abby as well for being here. Thank you for taking part in our community and being a part of this discussion. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Charlotte.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seed Photo, for what you're doing in the space
And
what you're-
host as well.
yeah, what you're doing
So,
with
yeah.
building community and what you're doing with giving back. We so appreciate it. And NDSS will be forever grateful to you for what
Yeah,
you
me
guys
too.
have done for us. So thank
As
you,
well.
everybody.
Thank you so much for the opportunity as well. Thank you.
And also let me say thank you, friends, for joining us today. It's so nice to look down and see familiar faces in the space. So
And host as well. And the videography. So
that's right. Thank you for hosting
Yeah.
this, and thank you for joining.
And have a wonderful day, you guys all.
Sorry.
bye.
Bye bye, everyone.